Are you ready? Okay.
Hello everyone, this is Alex Kirsting. She's a normal young girl that when she was 6.5 years old, her family started to identify when she'd go out and play, she would have having a hard time breathing. So her mom and dad were concerned, so they decided that they would take her to their local pediatrician and have her checked out. So they went to the pediatrician, they had some testing done. They were concerned it might be asthma, but in the end, it turned out that it was interstitial lung disease. Interstitial lung disease is a disease where the lung has scarring within it, and it ends up limiting the amount of oxygen that can actually get in the bloodstream. Well, that's the function of a lung, is to get the oxygen into the bloodstream. So if it's not treated, it can be fatal. So they identified the issue, they knew what the problem was, and kind of time continued. At that time, she was 6.5 years old, and she had a hard time breathing when she was outside. So time progressed, and the disease progressed. By the time Alexa turned 13, she was put on the organ donors list, or organ transplant list, at that time. Due to, at that time, actually, her disease had progressed to the point where she was having to be on oxygen 24 hours a day, and she got her meals via a feeding tube. So it had really, really progressed. So the solution to her disease was a new set of lungs. A new set of lungs would cure the disease. So there was no need for a new drug to be developed. There was no need for a new procedure to be identified. She had doctors standing by for the moment that a lung became available. And due to the extent of the disease, she was put at the very top of the transport list. She was #1 on the list. So she was #1 on the list. Their family had hope, right? Mother and dad and her, they had hope. She was #1 on the list, and they had time, right? She was still okay. They had months, maybe even years. It wasn't a case where there was an accident and she had an injury and she needed a transplant right away. So they had time, they had hope. Well, in the end, Alexa died at 14 while waiting on the transplant list. She had been #1 on the list for 1 full year, and she died. All right? So that's sad. That upsets me. It's tragic. What's even more tragic is that, according to the American Transplant Organization, that story is told 22 times a day in the United States. So 22 times a day in the United States, and there are 120,000 people currently in the United States that are requiring a transplant. Of that, approximately 25% will get a transplant this year. Of the rest, well, they're going to have to wait. And while they're waiting, roughly 8,000 of those individuals will die on that transplant list. You might think, how? How can that happen? With all the people that leave this world every day, all the deaths that we have, how can it be that 8,000 people can die while waiting on a transplant list? Well, it really comes down to a couple things. One, it's the viability of the organs when people do die. So maybe they die and there's an issue and the organs can't be harvested in time to help another. Or it also can be about a match. So you can have an organ available, but it's not the right match for the person or the need. But too often, it's actually that of the 90% of adults that are willing to be a donor, only 40% take the action to actually become a donor. That's according to the American Transplant Organization. So if you feel that you would like to be a donor, take action now. It's kind of easy. It takes 3 simple steps to take action. You can do one of 3 things. You can go by the Secretary of State's office and fill out a form there and have it done. Or there's 2 separate websites that you can go to. And this handout has both those websites and the information on the Secretary of State's office, and will tell you how to take action. So, I don't know about you, but if it was my daughter that was waiting for a loan, I'd want there to be hope. I'd want to have a happy ending. Or, if, God forbid, if I or one of my family members were to suffer a tragic death, I would hope that we could take that family travesty and turn it into a miracle for another family. So to really get that point across, I'm going to leave you with a quick video. So if you're willing, take action today.